Simon & Schuster Audio presents Reading the Constitution. Why I Chose Pragmatism, Not Textualism. By Justice Stephen Breyer. Read by the author.
This book is dedicated to my colleagues on the court: Chief Justice Rehnquist, John, Sandra, Nino, Tony, David, Clarence, Ruth, Chief Justice Roberts, Sam, Sonia, Elena, Neil, Brett, and Amy. Epictetus. Do not explain your philosophy. Embody it. Preface. My way. For 41 years I have worked, for 13 years as a federal court of appeals judge, and for 28 years as a justice of the United States Supreme Court. My job was interpreting statutes, that is, laws, and the Constitution. On the Court of Appeals I reviewed the decisions of trial courts, and on the Supreme Court I reviewed the decisions of courts of appeals and state Supreme Courts. My work, like that of almost all federal appellate judges, has consisted primarily of reading documents and helping to decide what they mean and how they apply to the facts before the court in a particular case. Unlike trial court judges who hear cases for the first time, appellate judges do not try cases and rarely review new evidence. Appellate judges are most often concerned with making sure that trial courts correctly interpreted and applied the law to the facts of the cases in front of them. When I explain to a class of middle school students the nature of an appellate judge's job, I use an example drawn from a story I read in a French newspaper. A high school biology teacher was traveling on a train from Nantes to Paris. She had with her in a wicker basket 20 live snails. The train conductor asked her what was in the basket. She told him, and the conductor then said, "You must buy a ticket for the snails." "That's ridiculous," the teacher replied. "Well," said the conductor, "read the fare rules. They say, passengers cannot bring animals on the train except in a basket, in which case they must buy a ticket for the animals." "But," protested the teacher, "that means dogs or cats or maybe rabbits, not snails." "Doesn't it say animals?" said the conductor, "and isn't a snail an animal?" At this point I asked the class, "Who's right?" The class breaks up into fierce
Sample complete. Ready to continue?